All right, guys, and welcome back to the Off the Line podcast. Um, we're going to be doing a little bit of a tangent at the start here,
Us
which is
doing tangents? That doesn't sound right.
um, this will be a light-hearted podcast, but both of us are here to have fun. Both of us are involved in this to kind of sit and poke holes in football and hopefully give you boys something of meaning to listen to when you're at a loose end. But if you didn't know, Saturday just gone was Mental Health Awareness Day. It's a day that's in place to spread awareness of a growing mental health problem in the UK among people of our age and, of course, people of any age. Um, in 2019, in the UK, 5,691 people took their own life. Around three quarters of that number was male. That's 16 people a day. The reason it's important to hear that statistic is that this is no longer an issue that can be spoken about. It's not something that can be kept under wraps and made taboo. Last summer, I went to a therapist. I took antidepressants for a few months and had to dig myself out of a really low place. And it wouldn't have been possible without the strong support system I had around me, like my friends and my family, how they made me feel like I could speak about my feelings and what was hurting me. We're only as human as we allow ourselves to be. And I hope that with you as an audience and as friends of ours, you feel you can open up to us and your peers. Because there's a way to overcome any hurdle. But very often with these kinds of problems, you need a hand. It's not unmanly to speak about your feelings. You're not going to upset anyone or hurt anyone. Human beings will help each other. We're like that. You have to trust that the ones who love you will do anything they can to help you. Just want to make sure that anyone listening now doesn't feel like they need to suffer in silence and feels like they can open up to people.
Yeah, really well said there. I couldn't have said it better myself. Mental health is such a issue that's close to both of our hearts, and I think I've had my issues with mental health as well. And
Mm.
I've as you say, it's all to do with the support system that you have around you, and if you guys are suffering, as Sam said, we're always here, and the friends and family that you have around you are always here as well. It's so important to not suffer in silence. Um, but yeah, I think
Um,
you've pretty much
yeah,
covered it.
that's it. We'll crack on. Anyway, this week we've asked for you guys to kind of take control of this. We were feeling like we were heading off on tangents, too much of our own volition, and we're going to allow you boys to basically send us all over the shop with different questions that you've sent in. And
Yeah.
first, I want to clarify: we had a lot of questions of a coital nature that we won't be covering because of the fact that this will be broadcast to our families, and we're not massively interested in them understanding that side of our lives.
I'm waiting till
If
marriage
you want,
anyway. It doesn't matter.
yeah, me too. Yeah, but marriage, I love marriage. Anyway, we'll crack on because we've got a few questions that are football related. We've got a few questions that aren't football related. We'll get on with it.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you want me to start it off?
you can do,
Okay.
yeah. Why not?
We got a couple of questions in from you lot, and the first one is, what made us start the podcast? Do you want to say what
Um,
happened with you?
I think I said this to a friend of mine the other day who is he's a kind of music producer and he's been doing that over the course of lockdown and he's made that into something. I think it's just something that we've been stuck in all summer and it's been really difficult and it's kind of annoying to not be able to have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
Over the course of this summer, I probably have pictures at festivals and pictures on nights out, but that hasn't been able to happen. So to have something to hold on to and go back on YouTube and say this is something that I did over the summer and it was a positive thing. And to be honest, I get in a call with my mate and talk about football once a week, which
Yeah.
is which
And
is
I've got
great
the
anyway.
thing
So
is that
it was a
go on.
hobby.
Go on.
It's just a hobby. It's
Yeah.
just it's something to do when you're bored.
Yeah, it's allowed me to create a lot of new skills as well. I'm really interested in going into sports media, so this is bread and butter for me. And I love football, and I love talking about it with people. And me and Sam sort of get on very well on a personal level, so I just thought we'd
Yeah.
have good chemistry uh, on the podcast. And yeah, I've learnt so much just learning how to do graphic design and learning how to edit videos. Obviously it's very basic at this point, very bare bones, but you know You can only start somewhere.
Yeah,
But
no, it's great. I think I've got to be honest. Jamie's kind of the beating heart of this. I'm just here to sex it up a bit.
yeah,
But Jamie's kind of he does all the graphic design, he does all the editing. He's great, and I'm just the talent. So
you're the talent. You're what everybody comes to see. I'm just I'm the guy in the background who's doing the donkey work. No, I'm joking.
It's fine.
Yeah, no, really, and I'm really enjoying it as well. And you know,
Yeah.
we're never we never wanted to start this with the view to like say, you know, we're going to get millions of subscribers and we're going to be, you know, up to the
Massive.
top. I mean, it'd be nice, but
I do look a bit like the true Geordie.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
told that
yeah,
in
I
passing.
think, yeah,
Yeah.
but
No, it's
it's great fun.
it's really good fun, and we're happy that you boys are enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's great.
And leave a thumbs up if you are. I forgot to say that. Thumbs up the video. Leave a like. It helps us massively.
Right up.
Yeah. As we
Yeah.
said last week, Sam's got a.
No, we don't need to go back into that.
Okay, yeah,
My
cool.
judgment, yeah.
Next question, everyone. Right, okay, let's go with this one. We've got this from the same person. He's sent in some really useful questions. Unlike a lot of people, you know who you are.
Michael Dixon, Michael Nichols.
He said, "Who are your favourite players, current and past?" But for this one, we sort of said, for the current, we're going to say someone who's on our teams that we support, so Chelsea and West Ham. And then in the past, we're going to say someone who isn't on one of our teams, but also, you know, made us fall in love with football, so or influenced us in a way. So, do you want to go first with your one?
Oh man, there's too many. I mean, I've watched Chelsea for. I mean, I started watching Chelsea when I was 5, 6.
Yeah.
I remember right when I started watching, Frank Lampard was my favourite player because he was. It's Frank. I can't see past Frank Lampard being my favourite.
I'll let you have a pass on that one because it's Frank Lampard, isn't it? Like, you can't.
Frank Lampard scored 207 goals for Chelsea in all competitions from midfield. It's just great. It's and he was Mr. Chelsea, and he turned up in the big games, and it's just great. And if you mention the fact that he even played for West Ham and he used you as anything more than a stepping stone, then you're waffling, mate. And the player who didn't play for Chelsea, probably Xavi.
Yeah.
I loved watching Xavi play football.
Oh.
I think because I used to watch Chelsea. Chelsea used to get by Barcelona in the Champions Leagues a lot. Kind of 2008, 2007. We played them against,
isn't it?
Well.
The sort of late noughties Barcelona squad.
Xavi played in those games, and it was just a phenomenal footballer and someone I really enjoyed watching.
Yeah. Mine is pretty, I think, obvious. I think it's Thierry Henry. Like, I think, but in my opinion, he's the best player to ever play in the Premier League. That I don't think that's a controversial statement.
No,
I really don't. He's just so. I think he's one of my favourite footballers that I've ever watched. He's up there with sort of Ronaldinho in terms of you just watch him and you think, wow, you are bloody good, aren't you? Like,
he had panache.
Oh my god, panache coming out his ear.
Panache coming out of his eye. It was superb.
Vavaboom, yeah. Vengerable.
I love watching.
Yeah, that's sort of.
I mean, obviously, Thierry Henry was before my time, so you got to remember I'm a little bit younger than young Jamie. So
yeah,
Thierry Henry, my time was more
2 years to the day older than you.
2 years. Yeah. So,
but yeah,
slightly
watching Thierry Henry is sort of what made me fall in love with football. That sort of early, sort of 2003, 2004, 2005. And also, you know, playing video games at a young age as well. And I've always loved the FIFAs and the PES and that sort of thing. So playing with Thierry Henry on that as well was always my favourite player. So because West Ham were in the Championship when he was playing in the Premier League. So that's sort of all I could watch.
Yeah. Who are your... who would you tip for the very top Ballon d'Or in the future?
We talked about this briefly earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
Did you come up with 2, didn't you?
There's a couple of players. I mean, obviously Mbappe is, let's be completely honest, Mbappe is the front runner for this
Yeah.
in terms of the future players. He has been for a few seasons, and he's a great player. But there's a couple of players that I've really enjoyed watching in the last couple of seasons. I saw Joao Felix play for Atletico Madrid a couple of times last year,
Yeah.
and I was really impressed with him. And I
Really
think that
exciting player, isn't
there's
he?
only growth there. Ansu Fati has started turning up for Barcelona every week, and
Yeah.
he's below 20, so he's got a lot of growth left.
Erling
But
Haaland, I think, springs to mind
yeah,
as well with his performances in the Champions League last year. Obviously, his performances now for Dortmund as well. And there's some good
definitely,
Italians coming through as well, but we'll see if
we'll
that
see.
But yeah, obviously the sort of Messi CR7 is sort of
Mm,
waning now, unfortunately. And Lewandowski should have won it this year.
yeah,
But
they robbed him.
I can see Lewandowski if he does it again, winning it, and also, what's to stop people like Serge Gnabry kicking on and trying to move for those top spots as well.
Definitely,
Controversial, but yeah.
we will see.
Yeah. Right. Next one is a bit of a funny banter one. Would you rather have Man United's defence or Sheffield United's attack?
I couldn't deal with watching Harry Maguire every week. I feel like I'd have an aneurysm. I've spent the first 3 weeks of this season watching Kepa. I couldn't do Harry Maguire. I couldn't do it.
But
Or Luke Shaw.
so
I couldn't do it to myself.
you'd rather watch Dave McGoldrick and Oliver Burke.
Yeah, because at least everyone accepts your shit. I mean, there's no pressure. You're Sheffield United. Everyone's expecting you to go down. You stay up. You've done a good job. There's no pressure on you for Sheffield United's attack. If you've got Manchester United's defence, Harry Maguire cost 80 million.
Yeah.
You're going to be expecting performances, and you're not going to get them. So I'd prefer to have Sheffield United's attack purely because there's less pressure on them. To be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll go with you as well.
There's less of a potential for piss taking.
Although I will say now that United have Alex Telles, well, it remains to be seen if he does well or not. But if he shores up that defence somehow, then maybe the other way around. But yeah, I think we'll skip the teams for a while now. But let's go on to the next one from Tom Darling himself. Who do you think has the best youth academy in the world, and why is it Southampton?
It's not Southampton.
It's not Southampton.
It's not. Sorry, Tom. Barcelona produced Messi. Like, you can't. Barcelona have produced Messi, PK, Puyol. PK was at Man United. Puyol, Xavi.
No. Yeah, it's the list goes on and on and on. And also, you've got academies like Castilla, Real Madrid, and Ajax is another one that's renowned for producing world-class talent.
Hullet was an Ajax.
Feyenoord as well. They've had a cracking youth academy.
Southampton did very well in producing Shearer and Bale.
Yeah.
Right. Superb.
Well done.
2 players. Well done. Barcelona produced a Champions League, pretty much the spine of a Champions League winning team from there.
I mean, if we're talking about like players that started at places, I'd say West Ham is probably even better than Southampton's.
Yeah, Frank Lampard.
Just the players that have come through, Frank Lampard, Joe Cole, Rio Ferdinand. That list goes on for a while. But yeah, thanks for that question, Tom. Unfortunately, no, it's not.
I'll tell you what, Southampton are the best feeder club in the Premier League. That's what
we'll love that.
We'll give you that one. You can have that one.
Right, one from Michael Dixon here, who actually asked a decent question as well. What more does Mohamed Salah need to do to get to the all-time best Premier League wingers?
Right, let's have a conversation about who we consider to be the greatest Premier League wingers of all time.
Bloody hell.
Well, Ryan Giggs.
He was all right.
He was pretty, he turned up every now and then.
Yeah, won a few Premier Leagues and all that.
Robert Pires.
He was all right.
He was pretty good in terms, yeah.
Can I say something controversial?
Yeah, go for it.
I think he's already there.
Oh, I don't.
If he has one more season, which, he's looking like it, he's not slowing down. One more season will solidify him as one of the best Premier League wingers?
I think to be considered as, look, he is a great winger. No one is debating how great a player Mohamed Salah is. But I think to be considered as one of the best, you've got to win. You've got to be part of a dynasty. You've got to be part of winning trophies consistently every year. And I understand. And the Champions League is a different thing. They won that, and that was superb. But they've won a Premier League. If they go on and do it again this year, definitely in the conversation. But right now, he's, Riyad Mahrez was superb for Liverpool, superb for Leicester when they won the league. But can you put him in the conversation? I feel like you talk about the Giggs and the Hazards and the Pires, they've won. I mean, Hazard won 2 league titles. Pires won 2, 3, and one of them was unbeaten.
Well, would you consider Hazard as one of the greatest ever Premier League wingers?
I would consider Hazard to be one of the greatest ever Premier League wingers.
I would as well.
Because he was instrumental in a team that won 2 Premier League titles.
I would as well. I completely agree. But, you look at that Liverpool team, and without Salah, and, even without Mane, they look toothless, don't they, really?
Yeah.
I think when you have a player of that caliber come into the team and score the goals that he does, and the importance of those goals, I think you've got to sit down and admit, a lot of people don't like Liverpool, but I've just got to appreciate the football. And Salah is an absolutely mercurial talent, and very close to winning sort of Ballon d'Or the other year. But yeah.
I think, in my opinion, he's there, but he's not quite.
One more season, 20 plus goals and a Premier League title, and he's nailed
there.
in.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. This was a funny one. Who's the most politically problematic player in the Premier League?
Well, Wayne Hennessy's a neo-Nazi, so I might go with him.
Marky Nobes loves Brexit, though.
Marky Nobes loves Brexit, but there's loving Brexit and then there's being a Nazi. I mean, I'm not being funny. You cannot throw that up at a dinner and then claim you don't know what it means. That's not okay.
I mean, would it have been? I mean, obviously it would have been Luis Suarez if we were doing this a couple of seasons ago, but
yeah, well, racism used to be all the rage, didn't it? John Terry and Luis Suarez.
I can't believe you just said that.
No, it used to be. With you look at the players that have just retired. Luis Suarez.
To your words, man. Racism used to be all the rage back then.
No, my point is that it's been massively removed from football in terms of players.
Yeah.
John Terry had a massive scandal with racism, said a very horrible thing to Anton Ferdinand, but then Rio Ferdinand called Ashley Cole something not very nice. Luis Suarez called Evra multiple things that wasn't very nice. It used to be something that happened on the pitch quite regularly.
Oh.
But luckily, in recent years, I don't feel like it's become.
Thank God as well.
It's kind of been stamped out as an issue. No, I joke, but it's great that it's been eradicated because there's no place for it in football.
No,
and luckily now, I said this to Ellis when she asked this question. I said, look, everyone has kind of press agents now, and everyone's pretty, everyone's well behaved. No one says anything that's really bad.
Mm.
In terms of being politically problematic, there's no real issues now.
Mm.
But Wayne Hennessy is a Nazi, so
there's always that. Right, should we move on?
Swings and roundabouts.
Should we move on? Which one should we do first? Should we do the one player from each team, or should we do the North versus South?
I feel like one player from each team is a conversation. So this was sent in by Rory.
Yeah.
Rory, the goalkeeper. We thought this was a really cool question. It was just if you could have, we've done it. So if you can have a team with one player from each, one player from each team, who would you pick? And
we've only done starting 11.
Neither me or Jamie. Yeah, we've only done starting 11. We only picked 11 of the Premier League teams, and neither me or Jamie have actually got a United player.
Yeah.
We're big fans on this podcast. I don't know if you can tell, but we're massive fans of Manchester United over here. Who have you gone with in goal, Jamie?
I've gone for Martin Dubravka. I think Rory will
Ooh.
be happy with that one as well.
Yeah, we'll be well happy with that. I'll go
Yeah.
with Nick Pope.
Okay. Yeah.
I
I like
wanted,
it.
yeah.
I just think
Um,
Dubravka is sort of up there with the best goalkeepers outside the top six, maybe even in the top six.
yeah,
Criminally underrated as well. Nick Pope's
definitely.
obviously up there as well, and I'd say Lucas Fabianski as well, without being too biased. Um, but yeah, I think he's a solid pick and a safe pair of hands in goal.
Definitely. Right back, I've gone with Ricardo Pereira.
Oh snap!
Yeah. I think that's probably fair enough. There's not many really good left backs, and to be honest, I wanted a Brighton centre back, so I've gone with Ricardo Pereira at right back.
Okay, all right.
And I've got Lewis Dunk at centre back.
I've got James Tarkowski at right centre back.
I did have him, and then I realised that he plays for Burnley, and I've got Nick Pope.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I replaced him with Lewis Dunk.
yeah. They're pretty good players, to be honest. Can't really say much
They're all
more.
right. Yeah.
I've gone for Virgil van Dijk as my other centre back.
Oh, he's taken the Liverpool
I've
out.
gone Liverpool early. Yeah, I just think
Um,
like that he's just unstoppable. Obviously,
yeah.
not at Villa, but yeah.
Oh, my team's a little bit more attacking than yours. I've gone Tyrone Mings at the other centre back, right?
Okay, I don't mind
Because
it.
he's a big schmeaty player. He's a big old boy.
Well, after this, we'll sort of make the teams up on a graphic and we'll put it on the stories and see which
Yeah.
one that we
Yeah,
think
so
would win.
Yeah.
But yeah, left back. I've gone with Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, so have I.
Okay, good.
So have I.
Good.
I couldn't fit a Chelsea player in anywhere else in the team, and I couldn't think of a left back. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well, we've gone
big
different in three positions
three positions so
That's
far.
all right. But our
I
right
feel like
back
we
and
can have
left
the
back
same.
are the
We can
same.
have the same. We can have the same midfielder, 100%.
Should we say it at the same time?
Yeah, go on.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Kevin De
Declan
Bruyne.
Rice. I've got De
Oh,
Bruyne too. I've got De Bruyne too.
I've got
Kevin De
Declan Rice
Bruyne.
as well.
Yeah, I've got Declan
Right.
Rice.
What's your other one?
James Rodriguez.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah,
literally-
Rodriguez, De Bruyne, and Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's actually what I've got. If you're listening to this, by the way, we haven't actually told each other the teams. We're finding out now. So
I'm feeling like because obviously one of my wingers you've already got the team for, but
okay.
yeah, we're about to find out. I've got a left wing. I've got Aubameyang
Okay.
because I feel like he does play out there for Arsenal, and I've got him at left wing.
Okay. Well, I've got him at striker.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Understandable. Fine. At striker, I've got Harry Kane.
Okay. I've got Heung-min Son at left wing.
All right. Well, bold. All right. And well, right wing, I've got Mo Salah.
I've got Jack Grealish.
Ooh. I like my attack more.
So do I.
My attack's very fast, and then it's got an absolute goal machine in the middle.
Well, my attack's very fast.
Yeah, it is. Look, we both pretty much picked the same teams, bar like 5 or 6 players.
Yeah.
So I say bar 5 or 6 players. That's half the team.
That is true.
I haven't eaten in a few hours. Just leave me alone. All right.
Should we go on to our the North versus South All-Star game?
Yes. So the NBA has the All-Star game, and we decided to do a North versus South version of that. So we have to pick teams from the North and the South, and then we came to the conclusion that up north there's probably about 12 teams, and down south there's probably about 8. So we've basically split Birmingham straight down the middle. And
Sam's got Villa.
Lambo's taken West Brom, and I've taken Villa. I haven't used any players from Aston Villa.
I haven't used any players from West Brom, surprisingly.
My team is. I want to make sure that I am not affiliating Birmingham with the south of England.
Yeah, and did you do a maximum of 2 players from each club, or did you do a maximum of 3?
I did a maximum of 3, but
Okay,
I feel like
did a
you
maximum
had
of 2,
more
so
teams.
I had more teams.
You had 2 more teams. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Do you want to? Right. Who's your goalkeeper then?
Hugo Lloris.
Okay.
I feel like he's probably just the best out of the people.
Okay.
Best out of the bunch down south.
All right. I've gone with Nick Pope.
Yep. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ooh. He's picked Nick Pope in front of Allison and Edison.
Yeah. I've got
Oh,
well,
because
maximum of
you
two.
got to pick. You got to
Remember?
pick. Yeah, yeah, of course. I've gone for Lloris because I don't know. I like him.
I like him.
Like
For
him.
my right
Like
back,
him.
I've gone with Ricardo Pereira again.
Oh yeah.
I was umming and ahhing with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but I just think Pereira's better. Well,
Very
who's
nice.
your right back?
Very nice. My right back is Tariq Lamptey
Oh, water's wet.
because I love him.
Yeah,
I think he's great. Really, really entertaining to watch.
yeah, definitely.
Centre back. So centre backs, I should probably
What's your
say. We
pairing?
can
What's
do
your
that.
pairing?
I've got Thiago Silva
Hmm.
and Lewis Dunk.
Okay, that's all right. I've got
'Cause
Aymeric Laporte and Virgil van Dijk, but okay.
Jesus Christ. I've been stiff here.
Yeah.
I've got two Brighton players in my back line.
They're a good team. They're a good team.
They're a good team. I've got Ben Chilwell at left back. It's fine.
That's decent. Left back,
Ben Chilwell.
I've gone with Luca Dean.
Oh, yeah, probably about right. Everton.
Yes.
I forgot you had Everton as well. Jesus Christ, I've been knobbed here.
Been proper knobbed.
Everton. I've got Chelsea, Arsenal, and Tottenham, and then the bottom half of the table.
Oh, that's rude. West Ham a 10th. You bastard.
Only because Moisey's ill.
No, he's not anymore. He's back. Anyway.
In the midfield, I've got Declan Rice,
Yeah.
Danny Ceballos,
Okay. I like that.
and Kai Havertz.
Yeah. I'm a big
That's
fan.
my midfield.
I've gone with Ruben Neves, James Rodriguez, and Kevin De Bruyne.
I'm not enjoying this.
You're not enjoying this, are you?
It's just like I read out my team and then you go, right, here's three players that are a lot better than that.
and my attack is just pace central.
Yeah, mine is.
Go on, what's yours?
Well, I've got Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, and Aubameyang.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, Kane's not exactly pace central, but I'll tell you mine. It's Mo Salah, Marcus Rashford, and Alan St-Maximin.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's no holding back there, is there? That is absolutely rapido.
Muy rapido.
Muy
yeah,
rapido.
I wanted to get a Newcastle player in there, and I thought, well, who better than Gucci Man himself?
Gooch, the Gooch Meister.
Don't call him that.
The bloody headband.
The big headband. Yeah. So yeah, we'll stick those up on the screen, and then we'll put it on stories, and you decide who would win in a North versus South battle.
Look at both teams and then decide that Jamie's team is better for the Southerners one, because I got absolutely stiffed and he had all the better teams.
And also,
so it's not
if
really
you
fair.
can as well, send us in your North versus South teams, and we'll have a look at them and tell you if we think they're better than ours or not.
Yeah,
that might be an interesting one. Okay, I think that's all the football questions, isn't it?
We only really got one non-football related question that we could feasibly use that wasn't about sleeping with people.
Yeah.
So, the answer to that question is yes, no, maybe, whatever. I don't care. Well, if you're sending that in, what are you doing? Grow up.
Grow up, get a life.
Grow up. Yeah, get a job. Find something to do. Don't know why you're worrying about our lives. You should probably go and be getting some yourself.
Yeah.
In fairness.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Have that.
How do we? I think me and you could be about to become.
It's a two-parter.
Me and you could be about to become the most problematic podcast streamers.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Politics.
Yes.
No. The question is, how do we feel the government has dealt with COVID?
Yeah, and I think I want to add on to that as well, as just to round out the whole episode, is about how we've dealt with COVID, like mentally. I think we should talk about that as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably important.
But yeah, we'll start with the government.
Ooh.
Let's not upset people now, shall we?
How do we think that Big Boris and Rishi have dealt with COVID?
Big Rishi.
Big Rishi. Risky Rishi. Dishy Risky Rishi. I'm not going to comment on politics because I don't know anything about politics, and to be honest, I don't want to get shouted at by someone in the comments is going to say they were offended or they were upset by something I've said. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna let sleeping dogs lie. The only thing I wanted to say is that, you know, Boris Johnson's been put in a really tough position here.
Yes, that is true.
This is arguably the most damaging national crisis since the Second World War.
Yes.
You know, when he arrived in office, he was not expecting this absolute shitstorm to arrive.
You know what they say, Sam? Expect the unexpected.
Yes, you're right. He should have been expecting a global pandemic. I'm completely wrong. He should have seen this coming,
Yeah.
Boris. Look, my only point is, look, do I think that there is things that could have been handled better? Yes.
Absolutely.
But if you know, it's quite easy sitting on the outside of this and looking in and going, "Oh, Boris has nosed this up. Boris has caused this issue and that issue." But you try being the person tasked with making these decisions, because for some people, this is livelihoods, this is life and death, and you're never going to please everyone. You know, like, I do feel for Boris in the sense that, while I don't think he's handled everything brilliantly, you know, the Dominic Cummings fiasco of him going for a drive in mid lockdown, that was a bad moment for public relations. But you know,
I think
I wouldn't want to be.
That's the worst part about it, and also I'll put my 2 cents in for it. I think there's a lot of things that have been handled incredibly poorly, and I think that a lot of other people could have done a lot better. The introduction of compulsory mask wearing in hospitality and in shops came far too late. It should have been in as we went into lockdown. And I think also we should be wearing masks as soon as you get outside. It's basic stuff, and I think, you know, the whole regional lockdown stuff was probably a good decision to try and sort of clamp down on it in certain areas. I think this is something that's close to me as well today, with Essex County Council saying they want to be increased to the Liverpool banned tier of lockdown. So we'll see whether that happens or not, because if it does, then I'm out of a job.
Hopefully not. Hopefully you keep your job.
But you know, this is sort of the direction that we're going in now, and obviously moving into winter, it's going to be a lot more difficult for the NHS to cope. But you know, it as you say, it is a very difficult position to be in, and obviously financially we're in a massive recession. But you like to think that this is, you know, special circumstances, and obviously a lot of compensation should be given to people that have lost. And also I think mentally during lockdown a lot of people have suffered. And I know there's lots of arguments saying, you know, we've just got to accept COVID as a part of life now. But unfortunately that's not really feasible.
No, some people have got family. You know, I know people who've got family kind of 100 miles from where they live and can't visit them. I know people who've had family pass away through this and can't visit them, can't go and, you know, it's a very difficult time for everyone. But it is unfortunately the reality of what has to happen, or what had to happen when this came out, because at one point 1,000 people were dying a day.
Yeah. And we got the same amount of people in hospital beds now with COVID than we did when we went into lockdown. Yeah,
luckily they've managed to find ways of treating it that is reducing the numbers of people actually passing away. But
there's also statistics to do with you know, the causes of COVID in the UK, and hospitality only accounts for about 2% of it. It's mixing households, which is the biggest thing for people. So. Because, you know, I work in a pub, you work in the hospitality industry as well.
I work in a hotel.
You know, it's absolutely dead on the entire time in my place. You know, I have to clean everything constantly. I'm sanitizing my hands the whole time. Everybody's got perspex screens up. You know, I'm wearing a mask for the 7 hours of my shift, and you know, the track and trace is very, like, every single person who comes into our pub has to do track and trace. It's not just one person in the group, it's every single person.
Yeah, they've changed it. It's compulsory now, isn't it?
And I think it's probably quite a safe place to be.
definitely.
because obviously a lot of it's to do with university as well, and I think young people have been scapegoated because and it's true, you know, 18 to 30 have been the biggest people who have been infected, but I think it's very easy to just shift blame onto a group of people and say, oh, it's all them that's causing the issues, when we've been told to go out and re-stimulate the economy and do EA to help out, and then as soon as it comes out that the infections are going up again, it's like young people are the problem then. So yeah.
It's a very fine line, and my point on it is that you can't please everyone,
No.
you know, and he has to do what is in case the betterment for the majority of the country. And the fact that he's had to place Liverpool back on lockdown, and he's had to place the North back on lockdown. And what we have to understand is that from his point of view, if someone our age gets it, we're unlikely to be massively affected by it.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the illness. But
99% of the time, yeah.
Yeah. If we then bring it home and give it to our parents, who then go and visit our grandparents,
yeah,
then it's the transmission of between people and upwards to people who will be seriously affected by it.
Then that's not even mentioning the strain on the NHS that it will cause as well, and it won't be able to cope. So, which is why people need to. So, if you're listening right now,
stay at home.
Stay at home, or
stay safe.
If you can,
stay alive.
Don't go out. Do go out. Don't work. Do work.
So if you're homeless, right.
Right, I'm sure there's lots of homeless people listening to
we don't mean to,
podcast, mate.
Dig that knife in any deeper. You've had it, basically.
Right, should we talk about how we sort of dealt with lockdown and what we did?
I just got drunk a lot of the time.
Yeah,
that's not a positive message.
Not a positive message, is it?
No, to be honest, I've kind of found things for myself to do. So I kind of play the guitar in my spare time. I do this. I have worked pretty solidly throughout the whole lockdown. At the start of it, I had a data entry role, and now I'm working in a hotel.
Yeah.
So I think my main goal at the start of this was, I knew that if I allowed myself to be idle, it would be harder than if I'd made myself actually go out and do things and actually get a job and have hobbies and things to do. I think it's important that people, even now, keep themselves busy, because the worst thing you can do is allow yourself to sit at home and with your own thoughts. If you want to sit and do nothing, that's your prerogative. If it keeps you happy and it's something that you enjoy doing, that's fine. I myself, as someone who can't sit, and do nothing for a long period of time, needed to find different hobbies and different things to entertain myself with. I think that's the main thing. You just have to stay active. I started running and I started riding my bike, and
you just keeping your mind busy. I think the run to Porridge that we did for the futsal was really good for us for a week as well.
Yeah.
It really helped, and I think it helps people get out. I think when it comes to how I dealt with lockdown, I really struggled with it at the start, because obviously it was my last year at uni so I just finished, and I had to do a lot of my dissertation at home. Doing Skype calls with my dissertation supervisor and Zoom calls with my work, with my course mates, and then I had to do a presentation on some bootleg version of Zoom as well, and it was really difficult. And I do feel for students going back this year and having to do all their courses online, because I found it incredibly difficult, especially with my dissertation. I mean, luckily I came out with a decent grade, but I think after that sort of finished and I didn't have anything to do, I sort of went, oh crap, like I don't have a job, I've just finished university, there's absolutely no jobs going in the industry that I want, and I'm also planning on moving away next year to the other side of the world. So I'm sort of stuck in a loop of, I don't know what I'm doing. And I think post uni mental health problems are something that's huge, and I think I felt a massive effect from that as well. I'm not ashamed to talk about it.
I think that's the most important thing, is that if people are struggling with it, it's completely fine. You're not any less of a person or any less of a feeling any less of a man, because I know that's an issue, is that people say that
Yeah,
men shouldn't talk about their feelings,
yeah.
and there's phrases like "man
Man
up" and
up,
"be a
yeah.
man" and all this.
Grow some
Just get
balls.
on with it.
Yeah,
If you are sat at home and you're feeling down, you're feeling upset because you feel isolated from people, there is always someone you can call. If you know me, call me, because Jamie will attest to this. Unless I'm at work, I don't do anything. I literally sit in a room and play guitar and eat and drink. That's my life. So
yeah,
if any of you are feeling upset or down, just message, honestly, because it's so important to talk to people
yeah.
about these kind of things.
And ask your mates if
Um,
they're all right as well. Just
yeah,
check up sometimes and just say, how are you doing? Because it's so. I saw something the other day on Twitter of a guy who, was in the pub with his mates one day, and then the next day it turned out he'd committed suicide. And
yeah,
I don't know how I'd feel if that happened to me. Luckily, I haven't really dealt with anything like that, but I don't want to. And
no, it's awful. Yeah,
yeah, a lot of people struggle a lot with lockdown, and I did as well. And you're perfectly within your rights to struggle with it. So
mm,
never feel inadequate or never feel like you're worth less of a person than what you are. And
no, definitely.
yeah, that is a nice circle background to sort of the mental health stuff that we wanted to talk about. Just a quick shout out as well. One of my mates, Eddie, who I don't know if he's listening to this right now. He's currently doing a podcast with Chris Phillips on. It's called the Run Free podcast, which I've been listening to a lot as well. Using sport to combat mental health, and he's been doing
Yeah,
some really awesome stuff. So if you check that out, if you're at a loose end just after this, go and check it out. It's incredible. So
yeah.
yeah,
I think mental health was a point we always wanted to talk about
yeah,
when we started this. It was one of the main things
mm,
we wanted to cover when we talked about starting a podcast in the first place. We thought it was an important thing to talk about, and it's
yeah,
become even more important because of lockdown. This was a pre-lockdown idea for me and Jamie. We've been talking about doing this for months now.
yeah,
And this was from the very start something that we wanted to do, and we wanted to make sure that, because we understand our audience is mainly male, everyone feels like they've got somewhere to go, they've got an outlet, and we hope that this is an outlet for you to fill your time with. If it's not, find, if you want to find something else, just do something that makes you happy, and don't worry about what other people are doing. Talk to
yeah.
people and open up. And
Use your support system.
guys, yeah, guys, we love you all.
Yeah,
I understand that I'm hilarious sometimes, but I do have a soft side. And we'd like to outstretch an arm to anyone who wants to talk about anything, to just drop us a DM or drop me and Jamie a DM.
yeah. Always
Message
about.
privately. Always about. We love you all. We hope that you agree with everything we've said in this video, but I know a lot of people won't. But that's fine. As I've said in past episodes, if you've got a problem, message Jamie, because if you're going to complain about something I've said, I'll either argue with you or ignore you.
I'm like Sam's
So,
PR manager.
yeah,
I deal with
Jamie's
complaints.
my walking filter. Just keeps, because I'll say something silly if someone messages me and disagrees with me. It's fine,
Yeah.
boys. We love all of you, and we hope that you are having a wonderful time in lockdown with curfew. Unless you're to all our northern listeners,
Stay safe.
stay safe. Don't go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you up, boys. Right, we'll be back again this week for a transfer roundup episode. It's going to be big. It's going to be massive. We're gonna have a great time, have some laughs, and might bring. We're gonna start to bring some of our mates on soon. We just wanted to get a nice solid foundation with just the two of us, and then we'll start doing that soon.
Start doing some group play.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, right.
Anyway, boys, we love you. 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 We'll see you very, 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 very soon.
Cheers for listening, guys. Leave a like. See you later.
Bye, boys.